y'all, how's it going? So today I have a strength piece for you and then a conditioning piece. So I would suggest that you do your own dynamic warm-up before getting right into the strength. Make sure you're really targeting your hamstrings and activating your glutes. And if you need help with that, I have a dynamic warm-up video that kind of hits all points of the body. So feel free to check that out. And you can follow along with me on that video in order to get yourself primed and ready to go. So today's strength has two movements. We're doing a new movement called a death march, dumbbell death march, and then we're pairing that with a banded hamstring curl. So we're really hitting those hamstrings and your glute muscles today. We're gonna do 4 total rounds. It's not for time, it's for strength, so don't worry about rushing through it, take your time. You're gonna do 20 total dumbbell death march steps. So with some bells, whatever you can tolerate. You can also do this with kettlebells if you need to. What we're looking to see here is you're gonna step your 1 foot forward just a little bit, and then you're gonna keep a slight bend in both knees. You're gonna hinge over, feeling that tug on your hamstrings, keeping my back really flat, and I'm gonna squeeze my butt and stand. That's 1 rep, step my other foot out. Same thing, really shove those hips back, squeeze and stand. You should feel this pulling on your hamstrings. I'm not rounding my back, so I'm keeping everything really tight. Squeeze my butt, and you're gonna go through that for 20 total steps. Some of you might be more flexible than others, so some of you might be able to almost like touch your dumbbells to the floor, whereas if you're a little bit tighter, you might have to stop a little shorter. And that's okay. You don't have to go really far down if you're gonna sacrifice form, okay? Now, that is paired with a banded hamstring curl. So this is gonna be a little difficult for some of you. So I attached my band to my GHD because that's a nice stable pole that I can hold on to. I could also use this pole right here if I wanted to in my garage. So find something that's stable that you can attach that band to. Getting into it's a little tricky. So your resistance on this band should not be super challenging. It should be like a light to medium resistance. The way I do this, I step inside with both feet. Okay, I'm gonna walk myself out a little bit. I'm gonna wrap my feet in, lay down, and then really brace myself, unwrap my toes a little bit, make sure that band is secure around my ankles, and then I'm gonna squeeze my hamstrings back out. Keeping my glutes activated and my hamstrings activated the whole entire time. I'm even squeezing my quads, so my quads are slightly off the ground here. I'm not just relaxing into the ground. So lift those quads up a little and then really squeeze. Curl in as much as you can and hold for a second or two. You're gonna do that for 20 total reps. So it's 20 steps and then 20 of those, all right? Then our conditioning workout is a 3-minute on, 1 minute off. 3 minutes on, 1 minute off is always a very tough time domain. You can't go out too hot. You can't push yourself too hard in that 3 minutes because you only have 1 minute to recover. Okay, so keep that in mind. You want to think about pacing yourself throughout it. So 3 minutes of work, just repeating this cycle of 5 dumbbell power cleans, 10 dumbbell step-ups with your bells on your shoulders, and then 15 V-ups. So do my 5, 10, 15. Keep going through that for 3 whole minutes. You'll probably get 2.5 rounds on that. And then when that 3 minutes is up, you're gonna stop where you're at. You're gonna rest for 1 minute. Now, whenever that 1 minute rest is over, I want you to pick back up where you left off. So that means if I finished on 10 out of 15 V-ups, whenever that rest is over, I'm going to do my last 5 V-ups and then go back to my 5 dumbbell cleans. So let me show you those movements. We have our dumbbells. You're gonna point them down here. I'm gonna drop my hips a little bit, keeping my back flat, and then I'm gonna clean them up to my shoulders. Nice big shrug. So back down, shrug. Think about moving your feet So when I do this, I'm gonna do a little jump, drop under, and stand. You have 5 of those. If you really can't keep your back flat here when you tap the ground, then just go to like a little hang clean. So here, shrug, get under it. Then I finish my 5th one with them on my shoulders. I'm gonna do step ups. So step up on one side, step down, change sides, alternating every time. Ideally, this step is a little low for me. I'd probably make this a little bit more challenging, but you shouldn't be stepping up really high where your knee is over your hips, so keep that in mind. And then I have my V-ups, so for that, we are just gonna sit down, hollow body if you can, try to touch those toes, or go to a knee tuck to make it a little bit easier. So if you guys have any questions about this, feel free to reach out. I can help you out with that, any modifications that you may need,